Hi, I'm Cody Alexander with MatchQuarters.com. Today I'm going to go through my game plan template and kind of show you how to use this. Kind of different ways that I approach kind of the game plan. You can find this in the Match Quarters shop. If you go to the Match Quarters shop tab, or in this video, I put the link in the explanation. So going through the different axes. So here I always put who the opponent is. And then I usually, because I like aesthetics, I'll usually put the color of those. So, for instance, if we're playing a team that's red and black, I'll usually put the red as the background and the black as in the lettering or whatever. However you want to do it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to get fancy like me. Personnel, these are going to be listed from most to least. So when you run your report, what personnel are they running the most? And so this would be, let's say they're an 11 personnel team, then they go 10, then they have 20, maybe they run a little bit of 21. Any special ones, like if they run Wildcat or anything, I usually will put those in there. So that's usually what I'll put right here. And so again, that's most to least. Now the two different things in the first end. So I'm gonna go through each box. First, you have a run pass. So I want to know on each one what the run pass is total for that. What I like here is that it gives you a visualization of where the number gets to zero. So where are the tendencies? A lot of teams in second and 7, if you look at it just by down and distance and you're not focusing on personnel, and a lot of people do this, they're just like, okay, it's second and 7, what is their run pass? Well, depending on where they are in the field and depending on personnel, and it may be play a game, this data can get skewed if you look at it just as a whole. What are they doing in second and 7? What I like to do about this, and really why this is such a game plan tool, is that, look, if it's 11 personnel, it's 50-50 run pass. Okay, so we probably need to be just playing base at second and 7 plus if they have the tight end on. If it's 10 personnel, that may jump to like 80. Oh, well, now I need to know that, hey, we now can bring in our packages in second and 7 plus. We can now treat that as a passing down. I think, too, the other part of this is in the red zone. Whereas offenses get into the red zone. If you see, I've kind of switched this up. So in the red zone, we're talking about the 20 to the 11. The goal line is 10 and in. And so teams may not, you may get through. And I think, too, when it comes to practice planning and then game planning, is as you're looking at this, hey, I'm looking at this goal line. Hey, they don't run 10 personnel at the goal line at all. So when we're doing goal line, it wouldn't be good for us to focus a bunch of time on running 10 personnel on the goal line. We need to focus more on 11 or 21 personnel. They get big, or if they have some sort of heavy package, and we want to put that down there, and all their plays are showing up in here. So I think the best thing to do is, as you go through this, you keep track. Now, there's two ways of doing this. What I like to do is I like to put the top formation, or the top 2 formations, and then maybe the top 2 plays that you're going to get. Maybe the top run or the top pass, or what are the formation. I'm more formation based when I look at game plan wise anyway. So I may put the top 2 formations that we're getting. And you may notice that when they pass, they like to pass out of trips, or maybe they get into doubles, because a lot of teams are predictable. When you get into a 2x2, they kind of have an idea of what they're going to get passing wise. So that's what I usually use this box for, is, okay, we're getting on P and 10, we're getting a lot, all these plays are on P and 10, we're getting a lot of runs, but on that first down after P and 10, it's 50-50. So what that tells me is that, hey, maybe we can be a little bit more aggressive on that P and 10, but when we get that first down, now we need to focus more and be able to play our base and maybe some other things. So I think that really highlights. Notice here I put P and 10 and first and 10 in the same group. It's the only grouping that's going to have 2 things with it. So I usually have one bold and then one not bold, but I italicize it. And so what I would do is I would just put what the top couple formations would be. And then if you have enough room, or you want that, you can put what the top passes were in there, or runs in there as well, depending on what they are the most. So kind of the 2 top formations that I got to deal with, in the 2, maybe the top run and the top pass. You would be surprised as you go through this that there's not a lot of data. Like, the data gets shrunk to the point where teams start becoming really predictable. Or what you get is, man, we got a bunch of one hits. Like, they're all over the map on P and 10. They're trying a bunch of different things on P and 10. Or, hey, when we get to 3rd and 3 and 6, that medium distance, they're kind of all over the map with a bunch of things. There's not one thing that they really like. I like this because it tells me when the common denominator is at the long yardages. So primarily the 2nd and 7, 3rd and 7, and really in here is this 3 to 6. Now, what you could easily do if you consider 3 is a short, you can move this to 4 and move this to 3. That could easily be fixed on there, and you can do that here. I usually find 2nd down, 3rd down is kind of in that medium range, whereas that 1 and 2 is, man, that's short yardage. That's where we're getting, especially maybe this is where you start seeing, oh man, they really like to pass in 11 personnel on 2nd and short because they're taking shots. And so this kind of highlights that. And then again, what do I need to focus on? Goal line package. What do I need to focus on? That what a lot of people refer to as the high red or low red. I call it the red zone, and then I call it goal line. But some people, you could label this high red and low red. And then obviously, what are their go-tos on 4th down? And I think too with 4th down, it's a little bit different because if it's 4th and long, you know, most of the time if it's 4th and long and they're going for it, that means that it's late in the game and it's not trash yards or it's not trash plays, but they're not plays that you would find it normally. And so that would be the first series of the game plan template that I would run. I would kind of put the top plays and the top run and the top pass just so I have an idea of what am I getting, what are the run percentages through this. And because it splits it all up, some of these may not even have anything. And so when you're going through and you're doing your game plan and you're working your yard markers and what you're doing, okay, hey, it's 3rd and 3. Hey, what is their top formation here? What are we most likely going to get? Hey, they've been doing this. You can quickly use this in a game to kind of say, okay, are they on schedule or are they off schedule? Are they trying to do something different? Now, when you go to make a call sheet, you're going to use the same thing. And what I do is I take the game plan sheet and I'll just go through. If I have things typed in, I'll just delete it. And then what I do from there is you put what calls you like versus these formations, just to remind you of, hey, and these are outside of your base calls. This is going to be kind of, hey, these are the things that we're going to run against this. This is where you would put your stop calls in with your base calls. So like if you're going to run, if you know you're going to run base, you don't need to put base in there. This would be like, hey, when they get in 11 personnel and they put that tight end on the ball, we know we're getting run. Hey, let's make sure that we're more run blitz heavy on this, and we're going to put in what I like on P and 10. That way, if you're a guy that likes to hold your call sheet, you've got your call sheet sectioned out by not only personnel on the field, but also by down and distance, and you can quickly find that. And then if you're one of those that you don't like carrying a call sheet, but you like to have that security blanket, you can have somebody in the box with this printout. I like to print it out on 11 by 17 paper, so it's really big. This can easily fit on an 8.5 by 11 and still be legible. But I like putting it, 11 by 17 paper is kind of expensive. So if you're one of those and you're in a budget is not an issue, I would go ahead with the 11 by 17 and print it on color. If not, I would just say, okay, we can get what we need on an 8.5 by 11, just printing this out and putting it on a laminator. So that's kind of what I like right there. The nice thing is if you play a team that doesn't have, like let's say they only run like this and these are blank, you can actually turn these into notes. So you can go up to, you can kind of get these, you can delete everything in there, and then you can come up here and you can merge. You can like merge and center these and create little note tabs, and you can create notes on the bottom for different situations or different things that you like that you can kind of put down here. So this is an easy game plan template. What I like to do is kind of keep this and look through it as the week goes through to kind of just keep track of what's going on throughout the week. And then are we making sure, hey, we're working 3rd and long today. Let's make sure that we get this play in and we see it and we make sure that we do that. And then again, when you do your call sheet, it's already sectioned off for you so that you've got that. So if you're interested in this game plan sheet, again, it's in the MatchQuarters.com shop. And I put the link underneath in the write-up of what's in the video. So thank you again. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more kind of how-to clinic and other clinics and scheme clinics on MatchQuarters.com. Thank you.